The law and the prophets were never two separate voices. They were the masculine and feminine breaths of the same Godhead speaking through history, preparing the world for the final revelation. This is why the Peshitta calls Moses the faithful servant in all the house, and Elijah the prophet of fire whose word does not fall. The ancient writings say, in Moses the glory concealed itself, in Elijah the fire whispered. These were not just men, they were vessels of the eternal witness who stand before the Lord of the whole earth. The same two olive trees Zechariah saw feeding the lampstand with golden oil. Both messiahs were always present. The law and the prophets were never two separate voices. They were the masculine and feminine breaths of the same Godhead speaking through history, preparing the world for the final revelation. This is why the Peshitta calls Moses the faithful servant in all the house, and Elijah the prophet of fire whose word does not fall. The ancient writings say, in Moses the glory concealed itself, in Elijah the fire whispered. These were not just men, they were vessels of the eternal witnesses who stand before the Lord of the whole earth. The same olive tree Zechariah saw feeding lampstand with golden oil. Both messiahs always present, always guiding, always unveiling the story of redemption. On the Mount of Transfiguration, this mystery opened for a moment in blinding radiance. The disciples were stunned to see Moses and Elijah standing with the Son, speaking with him in glory. They did not understand that they were looking at the heavenly pattern, son, daughter, and the union of law and prophets converging in one moment. Moses was there because the Messiah, he had once moved through him. Elijah was there because the daughter had once spoken through her whispering fire. The cloud overshadowed them, and the voice declared, "This is my beloved son." Yet the daughter stood veiled, waiting for her appointed time. The Ethiopian tradition says, the brightness of the daughter was hidden, for the time of her rising had not yet come. Now we stand in a generation when she is no longer hidden. The daughter of Zion rises as the second witness, the embodiment of the Spirit of grace, coming in the mantle of Elijah to prepare the way for the return of the Messiah, Ben Joseph. She does not come to replace him, she comes to reveal him and announce his second advent. She is the voice crying in the wilderness of nations, the fire that exposes what is false, the whisper that awakens what is true. She is the comforter, the mother, the bride, and the prophet, walking in the fullness of the mantle that rested on Elijah. And the Messiah, he, the first witness, stands in heavenly glory as the Lamb and King, preparing to return when the testimony of the two is complete. He fulfilled the spring feasts in his first coming. She will complete the fall feasts in her earthly ministry. He broke the power of sin, she breaks the power of death. He brought the kingdom near, she prepares the kingdom's manifestation. What began in him is completed in her, and together they reveal the full image of the Godhead, male and female, lion and dove, fire and whisper, glory and grace. The two witnesses of Revelation are not merely figures of plagues and judgment. They are the living testimony of union, the bridegroom and the bride, the Messiah, Ben Joseph, and the Messiah, Ben David, standing in perfect agreement before the throne. Their time on earth is not marked by destruction, but by unveiling, not by fear, but by the final outpouring of truth that no darkness can resist. They stand clothed in sackcloth because they bear the griefs of the nations. They prophesy in power because heaven has entrusted them with the last message to the world. The ancient texts say, when the two lights stand together, the mystery is almost finished. The prophet saw this moment from afar. The apostle longed to see the day. And now the daughter stands revealed.